What's good, y'all? Welcome back. This is Izzy, aka Kanye, and we're back with another review for InventedKicks. And this time it's the Nike Dunk Low and the St. John's colorway, which is basically just white university red. All right, now you can see I got the others in front of me, and I'm dumb hype about these, and we'll talk about that in a second. Before we do, be sure to hit the thumbs up and also hit that subscription button to be in tune with our content. All right, now as always, let's get into it, y'all. Wow, there you go. All right, so the white university red Dunk Low, which is really the St. John's Dunk Low as we know it in sneakerland. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, bit of a history lesson as we always do in InventedKicks. And basically, when the Nike Dunk was first released, they released as highs in about 8 different colorways made particularly for 8 different colleges. And that's what we call the Be True to Your School release, which is, like I said, back in '85. And then they did them a couple more times. For example, in 2005, I think we had the Be True to Your School Dunk SB pack, and all those were highs as well. So this year, they've been releasing all of these low-top versions of basically the Be True to Your School pack from '85. So we're seeing the Syracuse joints right here in white and orange. Then you have the Kentucky's back here in white and royal. And then this is the St. John's pair. But other than that, you know, I was just really hyped to get these because I finally got them for retail. And it wasn't even me. My girl actually won these for me on the sneakers app, and this is the only pair I was able to get for retail this year. The other 2 back here I actually had to pay resale for, and the prices for these are like insane. You know, they were like in the mid 300s before, and I think even after the drop still. And when you add taxes and all that, joints would have came up to like 400 bills, and I'm like, yo, who's trying to pay that for these? Like, these are the type of shoes that, you know, in early mid 2000s and all that, nobody was really checking for these. And even if people were interested in them, because at a certain point they started just like chiming out dunks since the whole dunk hype was there, people were not chasing these and buying these for like 400, which is not happening back then. So it's just really interesting to see how far dunks have come and how the hype kind of sort of died for a while, you know, in like the 2009, around that time. And then suddenly it's back, and it's just crazy, and it's like through the roof, out of control. You know, for a lot of dunk heads, I know that this is a really, really annoying year with all of these solid colorways coming out, and it's just really hard to get them.
I hate it here.
I don't know if any of you guys out there had this experience, but on release day, I think Bloomingdale's released these as well. And I tried for a pair, got through, was mad hype, only to find out they, of course, oversold and then, you know, canceled my pair. Bruh. It was just one of those things where I'm definitely going to treasure this pair because it was one of the only ones that I was able to get for retail out of the whole pack. But enough of that. Now, as far as the materials go, you know, if you own a pair of these, then I don't got to tell you, the materials on these have just been crazy all year. They've been killing it. I think the SPs have been way better than the SBs. Like, in terms of the materials and the quality on these, like I said, is nuts. So without further ado, let's actually get into the close-ups of these and take a look at what I'm talking about. Here we go, y'all. All right, y'all, so you know the vibes, getting directly into it. The uppers on these is going to be entirely composed of that buttery soft leather. If you touch these, you know, you're going to love them. If you get these in hand, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, especially if you have any of the other pairs. If we compare them to the other pairs, they're exactly the same. And the overlays is going to feature that university red, which you see along the toe box, eye stay, and finally on the back there and that heel tab, as well as the swoosh. Now the swoosh on these, you kind of heard me say this briefly earlier, but it does bump and pop out. So it's not that flat swoosh that you normally see on the side of dunks and most Nikes. And I thought that that was a solid little, you know, kind of quality quirk there as well. That was really dope. Now, as we move from the swoosh to the back of the shoe, you're going to see that it has that stitched in Nike in white, as you normally see traditionally on all dunks. And these are going to feature a thin, flat tongue, as I mentioned earlier, because these are not Nike SBs, so they're not skateboard dunks. It's the Nike Dunk Low SP series. I'm not sure what SP stands for, but it's been all of the Be True to Your School versions, and those have all been the only dunks that they've released this year that have not been SB. So, you know, the non-SB versions don't have a fat tongue, so these don't. Now, other than that, they did come with these extra laces here, which you can see in white, and they put them in this Nike bag. The funny thing about the SPs, particularly the Syracuse and the Kentucky versions of these, is that they came with extra laces as well, but they came in an SB bag, and I don't know why that was. I guess somebody just goofed, or maybe they didn't have these regular bags at the time. So that wraps it up for these in terms of the build and the construction. Like I said, really solid, super soft, buttery. I mean, this is gonna crease to death on you, so get ready for that for all my, you know, my folks out there who like their shoes as fresh as possible. But I think it's worth it because these are solid in terms of their uppers and the materials that they used on these in comparison to the other versions, the Syracuse, Kentuckies that have released this year, and closer to what we found on Dunks during their earlier releases in the 2000s. And that's a wrap for the materials and the construction. So hopefully that gives you guys a better idea of what these look like in person and what you would get if you purchase these. Like I said earlier, the price on these is crazy. So, hopefully this gives you an idea of whether or not it's worth it. Now, as I said earlier, I don't think these are worth $300-$400, but I do think that this is a solid cop, and I do think that these are worth it if you can get them for the right price. Now, as for fit, I would say go with the same size you always get in Dunks, Blazers, Dunk SBs, even Jordan 1s, for anybody that's wondering. I went with the same size. So I would say just go with your normal size that you get in Dunks and you'll be all set. All right, y'all, that's it. That's all I got for you guys. So, let me know who is still going for a pair of these. Who got finessed by Bloomingdale's? Who's feeling to be true to your school, releases from this year and all that good stuff? And who struck out? Let me know that too, because, obviously I feel your pain. I don't think I was about to pay resale for these. I think that was like going to draw my line or whatever the case is. But, let me know what your experience is with these. Let me know if you're feeling these versions, iterations of these Be True to Your School Dunk Lows. And thanks for kicking it with your boy Kanye today and checking out the St. John's Dunk Lows. Follow us on Instagram as usual. You can follow myself at Kanye, KANYIZZY. And you can follow InventedKicks as well at InventedKicks. So thanks for tuning in and watching. Shout out to the bros, by the way, once again. And so with that being said, until next time, y'all.